Sekiro is one of my favorite games ever made. It's up there with Shadow of War, A Way Out, and a few other notable titles. From top to bottom, the game is built excellently, sporting such a detailed world, focused system of combat, and more things than I frankly care to name. What I want to talk about today is how this game shows personality, development, and age through combat styles in Isshin and Owl. Starting with Owl, in his older form he uses many tricks. Poison, pretending to be sorry, stopping your healing, firecracker, smoke bomb, the Makiri counter, the death blow. These are all intended to catch you by surprise and get you killed on the spot. Unlike Isshin or many of the other bosses, he wants to leave you disoriented and catch you with one great strike to instantly end you. This doesn't change all that much when he gets younger. He still intends to catch you with one great blow to end you instantly, but how he achieves it is what I want to talk about. I'd like to quickly address Owl's attack plan. The main idea a shinobi goes off to kill you in this game, or rather you and Owl use, is the death blow. You relentlessly attack your opponent, weaken their posture, and then kill. Along with that, you use fast strikes, special moves, and tricks to weaken your opponent down and get them to that stage of weakness. Going off of that idea is this. Right here is my favorite attack in the game. He rolls up to you and raises his sword into the air. Instantly after the roll, you expect a small, quick attack, but you're given this agonizingly slow wind-up, watching him brandish his sword in the air, and from here, you have two options. You either sit there and steal your blade, or try to get out of the way. If you sit there, it crashes against you, blasting you back and eroding your posture so he approaches fast to that one great attack. But if you dodge, he suddenly switches to the move you would have expected after the dodge, one that looks very similar to your own dodge attack that tries to cut you in half to whittle down your health. I would also like to quickly note that this works off the same principle as the Ichimonji double, which we will get to in Isshin's segment. When he gets older, he would never try this. He doesn't want to take hits against his frail body, and this very slow attack opens him up to being slashed. But in his prime, he's more than happy to let you wail on him, to sit there with a great smug look as he watches you panic against the oncoming blow. This one move gives Owl so much character, the lack of it in his older form shows you how strategies have changed, and the most important thing to look for in these fights isn't what's there, but what's missing. Another amazing attack is the Shadow Fall. It's the ultimate shinobi technique and has this amazing wind-up as he gets ready to drill through your heart with his blade, covering the motion with his owl. So why is it missing in his older form? I presume this moment. You can Makiri counter this move, leaving him with a face of utter shock that is absolutely unmatched by anyone else in this entire game. It's important to keep in mind that this happens in the past. Canonically, Wolf didn't learn this move until we start playing as him, so Owl, assuming his son is unskilled, goes for the kill without mercy. Older Owl, on the other hand, knows better. He knows he can't just use his strongest move and obliterate you, it's not even worth trying because he knows he would get destroyed for it. Younger Owl assumes he knows how strong you are, and more importantly that he can beat you. Older Owl assumes he could have gotten you to join him, and attacks you as more of a plan B, but he knows how strong you are. Another bit of proof to this is the Footstool Shuriken move, another ability that you and Owl share. In his older variation, he uses it during both phases, while in his younger one, he only uses it with a shuriken in his second phase, because he initially assumed he'd be fine. The younger one clearly underestimates you and ramps up his abilities as the fight goes on. The older one just changes up his tricks to catch you off guard. All over, this whole fight is just so amazing. All the little changes and differences are fantastic. It is maybe my favorite boss refight ever made. However, there's a second that is similarly fantastic with a similar concept, and that is Isshin. Old and young Isshin are way more different. One is literally hours away from dying of old age and sickness, as seen in the normal endings, and the other is in his prime, probably early 30s. You only get to fight one in any given playthrough, but either way, he's the final boss. A lot of the same ideas are shown off in these fights as they were in the Owl fights, just amplified drastically. To go off the idea of frailty I mentioned earlier, young Isshin has 3 entire health bars, meanwhile old Isshin has 2 and is sporting an entirely new stance dodge move, which changes the fight entirely. Well, young Isshin is a much physically stronger warrior, wearing armor, wielding a spear, gun, and up to 2 types of swords, depending on if you're fighting the inner version or the non-inner. Old Isshin is a much more skilled fighter. This is most easily seen in the description of the One Mind move. After you do a Shura playthrough, you unlock the finisher of this Isshin combo, where he focuses to slash faster than you can see. It is stated in the description that this technique could only be achieved by someone as skilled as the aging Isshin. And while young Isshin is still a fantastic warrior, if old Isshin wasn't sick and was a bit younger, he might be able to kick young Isshin's ass through sheer skill. For Old Owl, all he learned over those many years is new tricks. For Old Isshin, he learned new skills to make up for his weakness. He broke through the barrier that age imposes on many fighters and athletes alike, becoming so skilled that his age hardly matters. Of course, this isn't to say that his fight is without tricks, as during Phase 2 the arena is on fire. Isshin uses this to launch flames at you, cause fire to erupt across the arena with his one mind move, and generally make you panic through burning to death. For the most part, the attack differences are the fact young Isshin has more gear, whereas old Isshin has more skill. Old Isshin also has the coolest fucking grab in the whole game, right next to Emma's. I love both of their grabs, but they're both very similar fighters in general, because Emma learned from Isshin. The only thing that confuses me is old Isshin lacks combat arts for the most parts. I do not know why, he's just missing a bunch of them. For no real reason. I'm not like a lore expert though, I just really like the fighting in this game. And as an aside, I would like to quickly talk about the Ichimonji double, as it's a skill shared among many characters, including Emma, who I just mentioned, Isshin, Sekiro himself, and supposedly Hanbei the Undying. The Ichimonji double gets a lot of focus during the Sekiro manga, which also focuses on Hanbei the Undying as a whole. The idea behind this move is two strikes. The first is a large overhead slash with a lot of charge to it meant to break the opponent's guard, while the second comes down to kill them. This technique is something many characters get to use, and that kind of world building is just what this video is about. I love this game, and if you haven't tried it, please pick it up. Either way, that's all I have for now. Like and subscribe, and have a good day.